but then the dating world is impossible.
So there's a few things that I don't do as a married woman. Number one, I do not cook for my husband. I only cook for my children.
So social media caused me to get a divorce. Like, that's dumb. That's a mistake. Let me explain.
And it's quite simple. My purpose is to be the queen of the castle. I just sit back on my throne and I supervise the peasants.
He said, well, one of the other girls I'm seeing just started this non-hormonal birth control. Maybe that would work for you.
I have a question for the men. What the f do you want?
Y'all want some raw and real this morning? Today's mediation.
Woman shared her regrets about not working harder to save her marriage now that her ex-husband is happy.
Kindly subscribe to the channel, as it is our sole form of support. Thank you.
So social media caused me to get a divorce. Like, that's dumb. That's a mistake. Let me explain. My own feelings of uncertainty and unhappiness for a while. I was actually, I hate telling people this, but like, I had thoughts on my wedding day and I thought that was just super normal. And I was in the haze of being a new mom. We got pregnant very early in our relationship, which again, another story for another day, but you know, being a new mom, I had 2 kids, 2 young kids, and I was just in survival mode. So I really didn't have a lot of time to think about me or what I wanted or what I was feeling. I was just in kind of like autopilot. And I think that's probably why if you go back on my page, you'll see any videos of me talking about my husband where like I make us out to be like the happiest couple ever, which we're not unhappy. There is actually not a lot of tea here. There's not a lot of like jealousy or animosity or a big story or anything that was wrong. It just also wasn't right.
That's why I only love my truck and motorcycle. Now they won't wake up and decide they don't love me anymore. They should do marriages like lease option agreements, 6 months trial period, and then decide if you want to buy. Who told everyone that they should expect to always be happy all the time in their marriage? What I'm hearing is that my marriage was completely fine. The excitement of being married, having a baby faded away, and then after that, reality smacked her in the face. Then she realized she has actual responsibilities now. That's why I keep telling you guys to make sure you are marrying the person that shows you she has the abilities to be a wife.
I'm a former nanny. I write poetry, and sometimes I make anal.
What kind of a nanny?
Different ages.
Sure, great.
I'm very nurturing.
I need some nurturing, so that sounds great.
That's just nasty.
Question 13. Have you ever had a sexual fantasy involving one of your husband's friends?
The answer is yes.
True. Question 14. Do you have any romantic feelings for a man other than your husband? You're going to have to speak the answer to me.
The answer is yes.
Question 15. Have you had sexual relations with any of your husband's friends and never told him about it?
The answer is yes.
True. Question 16. Do you think you deserve a better husband?
No.
True. There's no way you're stopping, is there?
I'm going.
Yeah. Question 17. Since you have been married, have you had sexual relations with a man other than your husband in your own bedroom? I need your answer.
The answer is yes.
True. Question 18, Shannon, for $200,000. Are you still in love with Chad?
Yes, I really love him.
True.
I bet that relationship ended right after that show. I would have made sure I got half of that money. First due to emotional damage, and then I would tell her to go straight to hell. You just said you don't think you deserve a better husband and that you still love him. So why you cheating? That's hella embarrassing. Amazing how cheap she is. Has already destroyed her marriage, but is willing to put her husband in a terrible situation for money. Then she has the audacity to say she loves her husband. Streetwalkers have more respect than she does. This is reality for a lot of people, unfortunately. Morals are at an all-time low, and the media only pushes it further. Imagine being the husband sitting there and has to listen to all of that. This woman just destroyed her marriage, and in the process, she shattered her husband's heart. She's done so many disgusting things behind his back, and he was only able to find out because this woman is being paid to tell the truth. Protect yourself, fellas.
So there's a few things that I don't do as a married woman. Number one, I do not cook for my husband. I only cook for my children. My husband will be making his own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Number two, I do not help him pay any bills. So if he is short on the rent, on utilities, or anything like that, it is not my problem. I will not be helping him out. His job is to provide for his family, so I am not financially contributing to any of the bills. Number three, I do not do his laundry. I have my own laundry and my children's laundry to do, so he could do his own. I won't help him put it away. I won't help him fold anything. That's his responsibility. Number four, he is responsible for replacing any of his essentials like soap, shampoo, anything like that. He needs to go buy it himself. Even if I'm at the store, I will not be replacing it for him. If he needs new underwear, new socks, or anything like that, that's for him to do. I'm not going to do it for him. I'm not going to enable a perfectly grown-ass adult because then they get used to that shit. So, no.
He needs to get another woman. I guess I'm weird then, because I love taking care of mine. It's a great way to show love and compassion, especially if they're paying all the bills. Wow, that's insane. I do the polar opposite. Hope he finds a better woman, a better partner. Marriage is teamwork. Absolutely, marriage is teamwork. My role is to master the art of relaxation, while my husband excels in domestic duties. It's a perfectly balanced team effort. I don't really see any need for this woman to be in the house, other than helping with the kids. She's basically just a roommate at this point. That man is better off alone. He deserves a woman by his side who's willing to lend a hand. Furthermore, how can you truly love your husband and watch him struggle without doing anything to help? She's only there to reap the benefits of not having to pay bills, yet she refuses to do even the basics, like her husband's laundry or cooking for him. What this man needs to do is find another woman, someone who will genuinely support him. He has valid reasons for divorce, starting with the fact that she doesn't support him in any meaningful way. A real partner doesn't just sit back and let their spouse carry the entire burden. They step up and contribute to the relationship. If she's not willing to do that, she's not a partner, she's a liability. He deserves someone who will stand by him, not just take advantage of him.
So I was seeing this guy, and the last time we hung out, he tried to convince me not to use a condom, and I asked him to leave. He later apologized, and we haven't talked in a while. He called last night and we were chatting, and he was like, I haven't heard from you in a minute. I was wondering if it's because you went on birth control. Maybe you've been hormonal. I said, no. I told you I don't take birth control because it makes me feel like shit. He said, well, one of the other girls I'm seeing just started this non-hormonal birth control. Maybe that would work for you. I cannot believe I'm here. Like, I went from being married to hearing one of the other girls I'm sleeping with, you should try the birth control she's using so I can you without a condom. I hate it here.
Father Time just wanted to show her the grass wasn't greener on the other side. A lot of marriages end because they don't sit down and work it out. It's only after years they realize how badly they messed up, just like this woman here.
A woman shared her regrets about not working harder to save her marriage now that her ex-husband is happily remarried. The 41-year-old woman shared to the True Off My Chest subreddit that she left her husband around 10 years ago, shortly after they'd had their first child together. According to this woman, there were no major issues in the marriage. She was a stay-at-home mom and had her husband wrapped around her finger. He did whatever she said, and she burned him out. When he grew tired of her demands, she started threatening divorce. She thought she was still a great catch and that she could do better than her husband, so she left. She ended up getting joint custody of her son and the house after the divorce. Now, 10 years later, the ex-husband is happily remarried with a baby daughter and a new house. The divorced woman, on the other hand, has been unmarried ever since. She's jealous of her ex-husband's new wife, saying, "She took my husband, she took my kid, she took my life that was once mine, and now I live in an empty house." She claims she is alone and miserable and wishes she would have been a better wife 10 years ago so she wouldn't be in this situation. As you can probably imagine, not many people were very sympathetic towards this woman. "You got what you deserved and he got what he deserved," one Redditor commented. Others noted that the new wife didn't take anything from her, with one saying, "You gave it away." This woman's story may end in bitterness and guilt, but that's not the case for most divorcees. According to research derived from family law attorneys, 80% of divorcees end up remarried. While divorce is a valid option in many situations, it's not always the solution. It takes two to make things work, and many people believe this woman reaped what she sowed.
Wow, how amazing is that, huh? This woman had everything a wife could have wanted, but because he started to put his foot down, she started threatening him. And according to her, the marriage was great, but in the end, she walked away with his house while having joint custody of the child. Not only did she destroy her own marriage, she grew jealous of her ex-husband because he actually found someone who loved him. She blamed his new wife for everything she had done. As a result of her actions, she was miserable. Congratulations. Your wish came true.
Alright, so Benny Bloop here wants to know, what is my purpose? And it's quite simple. My purpose is to be the queen of the castle. I just sit back on my throne and I supervise the peasants. I mean, my husband. No, but all jokes aside, my husband is very lucky to have me. Like, I could promise you that he's very, very lucky. And I'm pretty sure my husband has endless stories to tell his friends, his co-workers about how much of a helpful wife I am. But also, my purpose is to make sure that my husband never feels outshined by my cooking, by my cleaning, or my laundry skills. It's called selfishness. I need to make sure that he knows that he could do everything that I could do, or even better. But no, let's be for real. My purpose is to keep the couch warm and to keep the remote close. It's a vital role in our marriage, and that's what works for us. But what that video proved to me was that men clearly do not pay attention. Yes, they watched the video, but they didn't read no captions or hashtags, and they fell right into the trap. So that was a proven fact that men don't pay attention. You can't multitask and watch a video and read at the same time. All these men are so mad for no reason.
This is what's wrong with our society nowadays. This is why men are the way they are now. Yeah, you keep thinking that dumb shit. Then you'll back on here single, wondering why your marriage failed. Talking all that shit is just ignorant. You have a very unrealistic and optimistic opinion of yourself. I'll bet he tells stories about you, and they aren't as flattering as you think. And one day soon, he will find a good, loving woman. Believe me, sweetie, he's gonna get tired of your shit. And he's gonna find a real woman who's gonna be taking care of him with everything. You have completely overrated yourself. I agree you are absolutely selfish, and your marriage is doomed. Make this same video with your husband agreeing with what you say. Doubt that will ever happen. She's useless as fuck. I bet he has a side chick and is counting the days until the kids turn 18. Actually, your husband isn't lucky at all. He probably thought he was getting a proper wife, but instead, he ended up with a modern woman who doesn't understand the basic principles of a partnership. This is absolutely insane. Even when some women get exactly what they ask for, a chance to be a stay-at-home mum, they still refuse to uphold their end of the deal. This woman is waving so many red flags. It's a wonder how he missed them all. It's baffling to me why she's calling herself a queen when she doesn't even embody the qualities that title should represent. A true queen supports her king. She doesn't just sit back and expect to be catered to while contributing nothing in return. Instead of lifting him up, she's dragging him down, and that's not what marriage is supposed to be about. It's clear that she's more focused on her own comfort than on the well-being of the relationship. If she can't even fulfill the basic responsibilities of being a wife, then she's not a queen. She's a pretender.
What's your age?
42.
Are you single?
Yes, I am.
Do you think that men your age are going for older or younger women?
Younger.
Why?
Social media.
What about it?
OnlyFans, these young wild girls that are on there and just revealing themselves. I think it's just a different generation now. You have a lot of accessibility to a lot of different type of women, and unfortunately, that's a man's weakness, and they fall short.
And where do older women fall short?
I don't think women are as weak as men. I hate to say that.
In what sense?
In the sense of women are a man's downfall. I mean, it's been proven over and over. Yes, there's women out there that cheat, but it's more known for men to do that.
Well, it all goes back to women at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. Listen, if you love someone, you're loyal. Man or woman.
She's 43 and still delusional. Men aren't going for younger women because they have OnlyFans. They are going for younger women because they are more attractive, and they're better for having children. According to this study, 90% of women eggs are gone by the age of 30. I do have to agree that some women are a man's downfall, but it's also that man's fault for being blind and weak to allow such a thing to happen. Now this is her responding to her comments, calling her out. This could be a joke or something.
Somebody's luggage is out the door. Oh my God. I have to see if my luggage is out the door. Let's see. Oh my goodness. I hope it's not. Let's see. Oh no. Oh, thank God. I'll check again tomorrow. So if me and my husband were to get divorced, I definitely would not be crying. If you guys want to know what I'm talking about, just click this comment and it'll take you straight to the video. First things first, if that was to happen, I'll make sure that I get alimony from him. So in the end, I'm still going to be winning because he's still going to have to be giving me money. And then if the judge doesn't approve the alimony, we have 5 children. So you best believe I'm going to be getting child support for every single one of those children. So it actually benefits him if we both stay together, because if not, he's going to be wasting a whole lot more money than he does right now. So I'll probably just cry, but from laughter. But we're over here too busy enjoying the humor to be worried about divorce. Like, divorce is not even a thought right now. But when it is, if it is, then I know I'm going to be getting a good child support check. Period.
So let me get this straight. This is a useless wife who doesn't help around the house, doesn't support her husband, but somehow expects to get alimony in case of a divorce. The entitlement is astounding. She contributes nothing to the relationship, yet she believes she deserves a payout if things fall apart. It's hard to see how she would even qualify to have custody over the kids when she can't be bothered to take care of the household or her husband. If she's not willing to put in the effort to be a responsible wife and mother, then what makes her think she's fit to raise those children on her own? The courts should see right through this. She's not just an unfit partner, she's an unfit parent. The idea that she could walk away with alimony and custody after doing nothing to support her family is not just unfair, it's outrageous.
Treating your husband like a grown man and not like a child. I love it. Exactly, because why are we enabling these grown-ass men and doing everything for them? It just makes no sense to me. He is my husband, not a child. I am his wife, not his mother. I don't understand why these men want a woman to bow down to them. If you want a woman to do your laundry, to cook for you, to do everything for you, then move back to your mama's house. Like, it's screaming mommy issues. Some of these grown men treat their women like shit, and then they feel like they're entitled to a woman doing everything for them. A lot of men out there are more than capable to do everything that their woman is doing for them. They're just taking advantage of the situation. Treating him like a grown-up is the best way to ensure he learns and grows. Treating him like an adult means that he can handle his own stuff. And in the meantime, I'll focus on being the best partner I can be in other ways. I figured he's a grown man and he could handle his responsibilities, and I could handle mine. Treat these men like men, don't treat them like children.
But you expect him to pay for everything? He is not your parent. If you want that, then go back to your parents' house and see if they want to pay for your shit. I do everything for my husband. He works and provides for us, so I take care of him. When he walks through the door, all he has to do is breathe and relax. He is my king, and therefore he is treated as such. Yeah, here you are having your husband do 90% of the work in the house, while you sit on your ass. Make that make sense. The same can also be said to women. If you want someone to provide for you and take care of you, move in with your own father and let him take care of that. So, do you think you're entitled to his money when you don't do shit? Why don't you work for yourself and buy your own shit, instead of using your partner's money when he's the one busting his ass? Well, you've got it wrong, madam. These men aren't looking for women to bow down to them. What they truly want is a partner who adds value to their lives by being an asset. The problem lies in how she views marriage, and that's the root of her delusion. She sees it as merely playing the role of a man's mommy, taking care of him like a child, and just doing labor around the house. But that's not what marriage is about at all. It's about mutual respect, support, and building something together. A good wife isn't just someone who cooks and cleans. She's someone who uplifts her husband, brings out the best in him, and contributes to their shared goals. If she thinks being a wife is just about doing chores, then she's completely missed the point. Marriage should be a partnership where both people work together, not where one person feels burdened while the other benefits. The real issue here is her skewed perspective on what it means to be married. Until she understands that, she'll continue to view herself as oppressed, when in reality, she's just failing to see the true value of a real partnership.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, what you're telling me is that your husband has a girlfriend on the side. Because ain't no way. Now, given some men are okay with having their woman be a stay-at-home mom, but any stay-at-home mom that I've ever heard of also contributes. You seem like you are contributing nothing. At least that's just how I see it. I don't know if there's a man alive, unless he's just the exception, that'll have you as a stay-at-home mom and doing absolutely nothing, and have no woman on the side doing something. That's just my little opinion. Respectfully, of course. Sensational.
Y'all want some raw and real this morning? Today's mediation. I haven't slept for 1 minute. I wanted a piece of my grandparents with me today. And I have a $2 bill that my grandpa signed and wrote a message on when I was 5. And I've had it forever in the same spot in our house. And somehow this morning when I went to get it, it's missing. I'm so upset. This sucks. I feel so overwhelmed today. Why? This is the worst. I don't wish divorce on anybody. The only thing I can think of is, I don't know if my ex took it to be a jerk or one of my kids took it. Like, it's literally been in my nightstand drawer with me since the day I moved in this house in 2006. And I've had it with me since I was 5. And I consider it like a good luck charm. After all the moves I've had through divorced parents and bad relationships. It's one thing that I've always kept. And I'm so upset. I hope this isn't the start to what this day is gonna hold for me. But this is the reality of divorce, y'all. We have our highs and our lows. We feel confident some days and we don't others. And today is one of those days where I'm supposed to be ready for mediation in 30 minutes to do on Zoom, and you see what I look like. I'm a mess. I can't seem to pull myself together. Please, y'all, pray for strength for me.
I don't wish this on anyone, but I would like to point out marriage is not for everyone. It comes with many challenges that you have to overcome. And when you can't overcome them, you end up like this woman here. Before you go into it, really think. Ask yourself if this is something you really want to get into. For some people, when it doesn't work out, it can damage them forever.